Hello everybody and welcome to a little overview of the proposed Beechwood rezoning. My name is Jenna Lawson. I'm the Housing Project Manager at Connected Communities. Our mission is to partner with Beechwood and Emma residents to break the cycle of poverty through anti-racist community revitalization and equitable resource coordination. So today I'm going to be taking you through a brief overview of what is proposed for the Beechwood rezoning and what it means for the future of our community. So before we get really into it, I just want to make sure we're all using a common language. So I'm going to run through a couple definitions. So you're going to hear me say R1 or residential 1. So when I say this, I'm talking about the current zoning of the area that I'll show you in just a moment. And it is defined as being low density, characterized by owner-occupied single-family homes, ideally, that's the goal, often with a mix of other pre-existing higher density structures. So increasing units in residential 1 or R1 is usually prohibited. So when I talk about moving us from R1 to R2, R2 is medium density, single and two family dwellings are allowed, and multifamily dwellings are allowed with a special permit. And then when I talk about that transition, moving from R1, only single family homes are allowed as new builds, to R2, with a greater diversity in options, that process is called upzoning. So, where are we talking about? Here's our beautiful Beechwood neighborhood, and all of these parcels that are highlighted in blue are the parcels that we're going to be talking about today. They're currently zoned as R1, and we're thinking about moving them up to R2. And our neighbors over there in Market View Heights to the west or the left of our neighborhood are already zoned as residential 2, as well as the majority of our Emma neighborhood to the south. So what has this been in the past? Well, historically, this area was actually zoned as residential 2, or that medium density, in 1975's original zoning plan. This was changed to R1 in 2003 as an effort to increase the number of homeowners. So let's talk about who lives on those 770 lots included in this proposal. So of that 770, 370 families live in single-family homes. This doesn't necessarily mean that they're owner-occupied, although it certainly could, just the same as owners can live in and also operate double units. So 615 of our families live in homes with 2 or more units in this area, including 252 of that 770 are double-family homes. And then of the 770, it's also important to note that we have 101 vacant residential lots, and we'll talk about a couple reasons why that can be in a second. So why should we change it to R2? Why are we proposing this? Well, in R1 zoning, new buildings with 2 or more units are not permitted, and current single-family homes can never be converted into 2 or more unit homes. So the current zoning code doesn't allow doubles to be reoccupied if they've been vacant for more than 9 months. So if a property goes vacant in January and no one's in it by September, it loses its ability to operate as a double, and it is forced to be converted into a single. This was hopefully, the intention was for them to be converted to owner-occupied single-family homes, but no investment was done to kind of turn them into those opportunities that would make sense for families looking to buy their first home or their second home. So a lot of times, instead of it transitioning into home ownership, it either resulted in vacant or abandoned homes, or it resulted in a situation where a landlord was trying to make up for the income that they lost having 2 units by charging a more expensive price for the single unit that they were now allowed to occupy. So without tools to help residents get homeowner ready, and without changing the existing structures in the neighborhood that are in a lot of cases too big for a single family, homeownership opportunities were just not plausible for a ton of residents. Let's get into even more reasons while we look at this beautiful double on parcels. So allowing for R2 would actually permit vacant doubles to be restored to their intended use, decreasing vacancy. So instead of trying to find a single family to take over occupancy of a double house, this can now be revitalized with the idea that there will still maintain to be 2 units in it in the future. So vacant city-owned land, and remember we said that there's 101 vacant lots in this area, could be developed to support a range of housing options for both renters and homeowners. So Connected Communities, as part of the planning for our comprehensive neighborhood plan, actually surveyed every single vacant lot in Emma and Beechwood and asked residents next door, literally right on the same block, what is the best and highest use. So that doesn't necessarily mean all 101 lots can or should be developed. But depending on the best and highest use, where residents wanted to see housing and wanted to see housing available to both renters and homeowners with one unit, with more than one unit, we can now make those plans created by the residents a reality. It's also in line with the city's Rochester 2034 plan, which has some broad guidance for entire citywide rezoning and our own comprehensive neighborhood plan, as I mentioned before. So the city will be going through a huge rezoning process right now slated for like mid to late 2022. So we can get ahead of that and get our partners who are ready now and have proof of concept that they can deliver on both homeowner and rental opportunities that are quality, match the context of the neighborhood. We can get those plans ready to go now. So I just wanted to refocus us on the proposal one last time as we talk about what this would really look like for our community. Again, our main priority is to return the zoning to R2 as it originally was in that 1975 zoning, because that's really what the built environment looks like. The doubles and triples and so on are important and integral into the community, and when we change from R1 to R2, we give ourselves more room and more incentive for investment into the existing structures so that they're not falling into vacancy and disrepair and demolition. Nothing will automatically change tomorrow visibly out your window from this change, but it does open up an opportunity for development that will be vetted in a similar way to how this development is being vetted, with plenty of room for public input to make sure that any proposed project is within the value system and up to the standard that the community expects. So changing from R1 to R2 does not just mean like, okay, now it's a free-for-all, any type of development can happen. It definitely is not meant to encourage slumlords. In fact, it's the opposite. It's to encourage people that there are financially feasible ways to meaningfully invest and maintain your properties so that they don't fall into vacancy and disrepair. Now, I want to know, what do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have some other feelings? Do you have more questions? I want to know. So you can email me, you can call me, or you can comment on this post or direct message Connected Communities on Facebook. Big news coming up. We are going to be presenting this plan at the City Planning Commission meeting, which is on April 12th at 6 p.m. So if you want to watch along and see my presentation to them or learn more about how this Planning Commission meeting works and what it means, you can go to cityofrochester.gov/planningcommission. If you have feelings, pro, con, somewhere in the middle, more questions, the deadline for written comments is April 9th by 5 p.m. and the deadline to register to speak, so that would be to actually speak during that meeting, is April 12th by noon. So if you go to that link, it will show you exactly how to sign up or submit your comments to do just that. Please let me know if you have questions. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm really excited to see where our Beechwood community is going to go. Thank you.